Hi, everyone. It's Laura O'Brien here. Brooke is taking the week off because it's her kids' last week before they go back to school. And one of the most awesome things about having a lifestyle law firm is that we get to do things like that. So she's trying to spend some time with her kids before they go back to school, making sure that they have all their supplies and clothes and things like that. So she'll be back next week talking to you about what I'm going to talk to you about today. Today, because we're running a little bit solo, and by we I mean me today, I'm going to tell you a little bit, we're going to get a little bit personal, and I'm going to tell you about my why. Why do I do this? Why is MyVirtual.Lawyer a great fit for me? Why am I a part of this team? What's my why? So my why is pretty, universal, I think, for a lot of people, in that I want to help people. I have spent most of my life worried about things that are related to my pocketbook, and I want to feel and I want to do things that better the world. So I want to help people. I want to do good. I want to, live in a society, in a world where humans are humans and they're treated as such. And I'll tell you a little bit about my journey in order to get to the place where I am now, because my why is selfish in a lot of ways, in that I want to feel like I'm doing something for the world and that I'm helping people who maybe don't feel like they're always helped. So a little bit of background about me so that you know kind of how I got to the place that I did. I had a very interesting childhood, and it's probably not unique. I think a lot of you attorneys that are listening had a very similar maybe background. We're all different. We all have different brains and different experiences, but there might be some similarities there. I grew up pretty poor, and my parents got divorced when I was 7. I grew up on a farm. A lot of people are very surprised when they hear that. My dad's a cattle rancher, and we moved to a different state than my father did, or that my father stayed where we lived in Missouri. And, for a long time, I have 2 brothers, one older, one younger. And for a long time, my mother was a single mother with 3 kids under the age of 10. And I just learned how to rely on myself. So pretty much from a very early age, I relied on myself financially, emotionally, and pretty much in every way. My mother was always there. My father was, he's a great man, but I've internalized a lot of things and felt like I had to do everything for myself. I was the only one who could make sure that I succeeded in life and do things that would make me be in a stable place. And, because we didn't have money, I knew that I needed to be secure and have money, not be rich necessarily, but I wanted to be able to buy things and pay for things without having to think about it too much. It's kind of one of those things that maybe a lot of poor kids go through in that kind of environment. But I also had the wonderful experience of learning about volunteer work at a very young age. My mother did an amazing thing when she moved us to Oklahoma after she and my father got divorced. She enrolled my older brother and I in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. I love my sister. I kept in touch with her throughout my early 20s too, because my grandparents still lived in that same town. So anytime we'd go back to visit, a lot of times we'd go to her family's restaurant. And, I even saw her after, I think maybe I was in law school or something, and I got to see her, and it was really kind of amazing. I don't think that she even understood the kind of impact that she had on my life, because my mother, as amazing as a person as she is, she just didn't have the time to spend one-on-one with me because she had 3 children. She had to pay for, she had to work, she had to pay for everything, and her bandwidth was pretty spread thin. If anybody wants to hear stories about my brothers and kind of why it was spread so thin, let's just say my interesting childhood was pretty interesting. So I had to rely on myself, and that volunteer work that I experienced as the person who had a big sister really opened my eyes to what I could do to help people, because I understood how much that impacted me. So I spent a lot of time volunteering in my younger years with, soup kitchens, and I did ESL tutoring, Spanish. I have a Spanish background. It was my major in college. And so I did a lot of ESL tutoring for younger kids who were immigrants in Arkansas. And that kind of thing was amazing. I also volunteered a lot with domestic violence victims. I even opened up my own law firm at one point that was a low bono family law domestic violence only firm, full representation. That did not last very long. It was very painful, not the content necessarily because I'd been in the domestic violence world for so long, but just the soul-sucking system work and opposing counsels and all that kind of stuff. I didn't know what to do with that. Because of my need to take care of myself and to understand that, never have to rely on anyone else. That's a whole nother story, but never have to rely on anyone else for my needs financially and emotionally. I got sucked into the corporate American environment really easily. And it was good for a while. It had a lot of ups and downs. Most of them are downs. I think a lot of you know or have heard that I worked for Thomson Reuters Westlaw for almost 12 years. And there were a lot of ups and downs there, but it was a very financially beneficial environment for myself. And so it was really hard for me to figure out how to break free from that. And also it was so demanding. Every single job that I had inside of Thomson Reuters was so demanding on my time and my emotions and that kind of thing. It just made it impossible, in my mind, it made it impossible for me to spend the kind of time that I wanted to help people, volunteer, figure out how to do something for humans. And so in 2015, I decided that helping people and financially having the benefit of having a good job were mutually exclusive. I couldn't figure out how to live my life the way that I wanted to and stay at the career that I had with Thomson Reuters where I was making good money. So I quit. I just quit my entire, I tell people I quit my life in 2015 because I'm a person who needs stability and needs kind of an anchor basically. And I decided to quit my high-paying job and put my things in storage in Chicago. I was living in Chicago at the time. I moved around with Thomson Reuters quite a bit. And I put my things in storage in Chicago. I lived out of my car basically for a year. And 2015, if anybody's really interested in learning more about my 2015, I am happy to talk to people one-on-one. It would be way too long in this particular session to tell you about it, but 2015 really changed me. And as a result of a lot of those changes, I decided to move back to Arkansas. So I moved back to Arkansas in 2016. That's when I started my domestic violence low bono law firm. And during that time, actually before I started the law firm even, I met Brooke Moore. Brooke Moore is the founder of the law firm here in Arkansas. And she and I co-founded the MyVirtual.Lawyer for attorneys services that we have in 2018. Brooke founded the law firm in 2015. And when I met her in 2017, she and I just clicked. And I am so lucky and grateful. One of the best things about Brooke and I is that we tell each other how grateful we are for each other all the time. So if you don't have that in your life, that's something that, is so helpful to be able to have that kind of love and validation. And, reach out to us because we'll help you get it. So, but I hope that if you aren't getting it, that you have someone in your personal life that can kind of help with that as well. I just got lucky, and Brooke and I can do it in our personal and professional lives, which is amazing. But the idea of her law firm, I'd never really heard of before. I didn't really know what limited scope representation was. When I heard about it in 2017, I had lived in a world of, sales basically. I was selling lawyer tools, and then I got sucked into Arkansas's full representation world where I didn't even know that limited scope was an option. And so I was stuck in the traditional mindset of you have to go to court, you have to do discovery, you have to do all those things. Time sucking, most people do hourly billing, and I hate hourly billing. If you've heard us before, we both hate hourly billing. But the great thing about kind of where I thought it was impossible to have a job, make money, and also help people, I thought it was impossible to do all of those things at the same time. And after meeting Brooke, and we created this lifestyle law firm, and offer those services to other people, it's amazing the synergy that I feel in myself now, because I had no idea it was possible. It is possible because I'm in that place now. So when I quit in 2015, I was a little bit hopeless about what to do because I didn't know. I knew I wanted to save the world, basically, was what it was. I wanted to, instead of just bettering my pocketbook, I wanted to better humanity. That's kind of a phrase that I used quite a bit. And so when I met Brooke, when we started the MyVirtual.Lawyer for attorneys, I'm now in a place where I can help people in various ways. I'm helping myself because I am happy. I am in a lifestyle law firm. I am helping kind of expand that out and helping attorneys realize that they have the options in order to have a life and to have happiness in their life and still use their legal brains in order to help clients, but they can have their time to themselves. They don't have to be working 60, 80 hours a week. I also can help consumers because Arkansas is a poor state, but we are not unique in that. Everybody has poor people in their state. New York City is not the only part of New York. So I was born in upstate New York, so I know that very well. But there are a lot of ways that you can figure out how to be a lifestyle law firm. You still use your degree. You can still use your expertise, your experience. I practiced in full representation. I've been a sales rep. I've been an account manager. I have done insurance defense. Like, I've done all the things. Not all the things, but I've done a lot of different things. And the fact that I have come to a place now where I can financially take care of myself, I can emotionally be more stable than I've ever been in my life. But I also can feel like, if you hear the doorbell, apparently someone's ringing my doorbell. That's one of the fun things about being a virtual attorney and working from home, is that occasionally there's a doorbell ring. So I got distracted for a second, I apologize. But I'm now in that place where I feel like not only is it possible, but it's 100% happening, where that idea 4 years ago that I couldn't do it all. Again, doing it all, I understand, is a concept that most people are like, but I can help myself emotionally, financially. I'm in a great place with both of those, but I also can help other attorneys realize that they have options in life as well. I can help consumers, and, just a little bit about myself and why I do what I do, how I got to that place. Anybody who's interested in talking to me more about, kind of things that I struggled with. I had a lot of health issues. Health issues are the main reason I moved back to Arkansas. Brooke and I know is a little bit of a fluke and a happy accident that we found each other. We call each other, if anybody's ever seen I put up a meme every once in a while about partners. Are we partners in crime or in law firm or in life? I call her my life partner. So, but you guys have an amazing week, amazing Tuesday. I appreciate you listening to a little bit about me and why I do what I do, why I'm in a place where I've never been happier and more stable emotionally. Those are things that I've struggled with a lot in my life. Like I'm sure many of you have. I take advantage of our JLAP program here in Arkansas. If you have that program in your state, I definitely encourage you to take advantage of those types of programs, because that's really helped with my emotional stability as well. But it really is important to the thing that you do most of the time during the day, which is work, needs to be somehow fulfilling or somehow a good thing in your life. And I didn't think it was possible, but I found it here in MyVirtual.Lawyer. So thank you again for listening today. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys have an amazing week next week. Brooke will be back next week talking about her why, and we hope that you enjoy this little glimpse into our personal lives and have a great Tuesday. Thanks, everybody. Bye.